This is the in-depth evaluation of my Colts tennis film for college. One of my strengths is the camera work. For example, the interviews. There's plenty of talking space and not too much headroom. All the shots are well balanced. Nothing is out of focus or over or underexposed. One of the things I could have done to improve on my camera work was make the shots a little bit more interesting. Although they were well framed, I could have done more close-ups and tried to be a little bit more creative. Another one of my strengths was the sound. Since I used a lapel mic for the interviews and a shotgun for the shots of people playing, the sound was of a good quality. I also made sure that the levels were set correctly, so there was no peaking. One of the things I could have done to improve the sound in the film is add Foley. For example, the sound of people's feet on the ground, the whooshes of tennis rackets, and the heavy breathing could have added an extra level of immersion to the film. The editing at the start and the end of the film are good. I cut quickly to keep the energy high. There is also no awkward cuts or black frames. One of the things I could have done better in the edit was the interviews. After the energetic start, it slows down. I should have kept the pace high throughout the film to keep it more energetic and fun. My main weakness in the film was the content, specifically the interviews. The large amount of talking contrasts the high energy tennis way too much. For example, the middle interview, which was all about the facilities of the club. Instead of talking about the kitchen, I should have shown the information in a more visual way. For example, I could have shown a bird's eye view shot of the courts to show how many there are, and in the clubhouse, I could have shown people eating the cake rather than just a box of cake. Some of the other weaknesses in the film are small things such as sound clipping in and colour balance being slightly off. I would have fixed these if I was using Premiere, but I didn't fix them as I'm not as proficient in Avid. Get the, yeah, and just change the focus a little bit. Yeah, perfect. Other roles that I did were directing and producing. Things I did well for directing was making sure people were in the right place for the interviews, as well as asking them the right questions. I also made some good creative decisions, such as the sequence at the end. Things I could have done better were choosing a better topic for the middle interview, as well as getting people to redo certain takes. As for producing, things I did well were organising the shoot days, making sure everyone was in the right place at the right time. Another thing I did well was making sure I had enough coverage of everything by spending at least an hour on each day of shooting. Something I could have done better was getting the release forms on the actual days of the shoots, because for some of the people I had to go back afterwards and get them to sign them. But that's enough of what I think. Let's hand it over to the experts.
Excuse me, what did you think of the film?
Well, I thought it was a tearjerker, really, that's all I can say. You know, it was an emotional roller coaster. It was so full of substance. You know, my favourite part is probably when they're on the boat and the wind's going through their hair and they're leaning forwards at the front of the boat. It really gets me right there, you know, every time. And they're on the table dancing and Jack's looking at Rose and Rose is looking at Jack. And then the Titanic starts sinking and it gets me every time. I'm so stressed out. And there was definitely room for both of them on that door, for sure. There was loads of room. Yeah, I'd give this film an Oscar. Thanks for watching.